So hi, Will the Good Noise Podcast here with Sky from Super Whatevr. We're going to ask him some questions today. I'm going to start. So you dropped a song with Mark Hoppus, and I'm going to ask the question that everybody wants to know. How did that happen? How did you and Mark get that collab going?
Hi. So, yeah, okay, let's go back. So we were on tour, and our last headliner before everything fell apart, and it was like halfway through the tour, and he tweeted something, and mind you, my manager has told me to not do this too often because I used to do it all the time, but I would just respond to everyone's tweets and be like, whoa, that's crazy. We should hang out. And he'd be like, dude, don't embarrass yourself. Stop reaching out to all these people. Like, don't be the younger brother. Don't like bother them too much. But I was like, yeah, totally. I totally won't do that anymore. And so I did it. And so Mark had tweeted and was like something along the lines of like he was writing a song for someone or thought he was, and then that person thought they were writing a song for him, and so the song ended up like not being what either of them wanted because they both were like, what do you want? I don't know, what do you want? And I was like, wow, that's hilarious, we should make a song. And he was like, sure, respond to my DMs and we'll set something up. And I was like, oh, okay.
All right,
that's great.
Wow.
And I think, Blink is cool. He's like a legend. My drummer is obsessed. So he was like, we were in an RV and he was in the bunk above me, and I told him, and he was like, oh my God, freaking out. And so I responded to a tweet, which Twitter is scary. And I'm realizing I'm not very good at it because I feel like I like talking a lot, and I'm not very good at talking concise, and I think it gets me in trouble a lot. But for those type of things, Twitter's amazing.
it is.
And just, bringing, social awareness and things like that. But in this instance, it was great for connecting. And so next thing I know, he said, let's do 2 days. Can I just tell the whole story at this point?
Yeah, go for it.
Okay, so he said, let's record for 2 days. It was like the day after we got home was the day I chose, just so I could make sure we got it done, because I knew everything was happening with coronavirus. I was like, I want things to be open. I want him to feel comfortable. I want to make this song. And then he was like, yeah, one of those days doesn't work. It's the day before my birthday, so I can only do 1 day. And I was like, oh my God, I have to come in hot. I got to come in with a cool chorus. We have to it has to get done.
Yeah.
I can't leave without a song.
Mm-hmm.
So he was like, yeah, let's get coffee and then we'll go to my house. And so, also, you're the first person I've told this story to, other than Jess.
I love it here.
Oh my God.
Yeah. So, so I get there and it's a matcha bar, and I was like, okay.
All right.
I love, I'm very much a coffee drinker. I've been working in coffee for 6 years, and on my way, I was like, maybe I should give the recommendation. Maybe I should say a coffee shop. And I was like, no, that's not polite. I'm going to go where he wants to go, because it's his, house, his session.
Mm-hmm.
So we end up going to a matcha bar, and I get a cooler, this thing. So I have had no caffeine at this point, and I'm like, oh no. And so first thing that I was like, uh-oh. And he brought a producer and a guy that to tune guitars and fix stuff and keep stuff in tune, whatever. So I was like, cool, I met them. And then driving to his house, I had my phone in my lap because we just got off tour, and I have this contraption that you put your phone in to navigate, whatever, the hands-free device. Yeah. So that was in my house because we just took it out of the RV, and I usually keep it in my car. But anyway, I had my phone in my lap, getting directions, and then I got pulled over.
Oh no.
And I got a ticket. And
Oh no.
so I ended up getting to his house I would say 20 to 25 minutes late. And he's like, oh my, did you get lost? What happened? And I was like, oh, I got in trouble.
Got in trouble.
Yeah. And then we made a song.
No caffeine and a ticket, and made a whole song.
Oh my
Yeah.
God.
Okay.
So
Wow.
so that's kind of how it happened. And there's more stuff to it, but that's that.
Okay.
Wow.
That's how it came to be.
Yeah. So
Well, at least you have like.
you were in the same room with Mark from Blink-182.
Yeah, at his house.
That's very cool.
Wow. How does that feel?
Really cool. He was very validating. I've worked with a lot of people who it feels like a push-pull when creating, kind of like my way, your way. But working with him, he was like, I think what you're making is cool. And I was like, oh, okay. So he's like, do you have anything to bring to the table? And I was like, yeah, I have this little chorus, but I don't know if it's very good. I'm really proud of it, but it might be kind of lame. I'm talking about like pants and shoes. And he's like, just show me it. And I showed him to it. He's like, this is awesome. Like, this is amazing. And I was like, oh, that's incredibly validating. You're Mark Hoppus. And it was the chorus. So it's the chorus that we have. But yeah, he's just a very kind, sweet person who was very validating in my creativity.
That's awesome.
Yeah.
Wow. I'm so happy for you. That's amazing. I'm so happy you had that like opportunity.
Yeah.
Okay. Yeah. So how do you feel about the reception you've gotten to the single?
I think good. Right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, I've seen a lot of people post like it on the radio and everything. I personally haven't been in the car for like a couple months, so I can't say that I've seen it on the radio, but like every time I go on Twitter, I always see like, oh, it's on the radio, and I'm like, oh my God.
Mm-hmm.
So
yes.
Yeah,
it's crazy.
If we had a summer, I think I told Gloria this, I think it would have been the song of the summer.
Oh yeah, definitely. It has that just that vibe. Yeah.
Thanks.
Yeah.
It's doing well, and we haven't even started our like promotion. Usually the label will like drop a little money into marketing, and since my TikTok is growing so well, they were like, how about you just promote it for a while and then like see where that goes, and then we'll start pushing for a promo. Mm-hmm. So without promo, it's doing great. Most of our songs will get on like 1 to 2 playlists per platform, maybe 1 on like Amazon, like 1 to 2 on Apple Music. The new song has 35 playlists.
Oh my God.
Shit.
And it's on like radio across the country, and it's on Alt Nation, like Sirius XM radio. So like it's growing really quickly on TikTok. So it's doing really well. It's doing everything it needs to do.
That's awesome.
So I'm really excited.
Yeah.
Yeah, you should be. Oh wow, sorry. Yeah.
And also, I think it ties in the fans that like didn't like "Don't You Want to Be Glad," and also the fans that did like "Don't You Want to Be Glad." You're like the Never Nothing fans are like, "Finally guitar," and then the "Don't You Want to Be Glad" fans are like, "More good."
Yeah.
So
yeah.
Oh God.
So you're someone that always has like some special meaning behind what you put out. Is there any meaning behind the cover art, or was it just kind of let's put our faces on it, drawn funny?
So with that, I don't know. I feel like it was more of like childhood dreams type of thing. I was like, okay, if I'm making something with Mark Hoppus, I know his name's going to be like on the featuring thing, and like his voice is going to be on it, but I really want to show like people like, no, he's like, he was really like, this is really what it happened. It was real. Mm-hmm. So I just chose an artist that works a lot with the queer community. I'm not sure what his preferences are, but I know he works very closely with the queer community, and I love that, and I love being in support of loving, kind, accepting people. And so he did some stuff for Emo Night, and I just love his work, and that's it. Sometimes sometimes I'm like, oh, deeper meaning, crazy secret message, and other times I'm just like, I love pretty things and I love art so much, and like when I fall in love with art, I just am like, I have to have that. So yeah.
Okay. Oh,
right.
like, okay.
Mm-hmm. Not too deep, just pretty.
Okay.
Yeah.
All right.
Yeah, but that's still good. Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
So what was the writing process behind it? Did you write all of it, or was it like a collaborative thing? You did mention you did the chorus, right?
Uh-huh.
Yeah.
So Thanks for asking. So I brought the first half of the chorus.
Okay.
That I got my laces tied part. And then when I got there, he was like, do you have a chord progression behind that? Because I just had the lyrics in the notes app. And I was like, no, I don't have a chord progression. And he was like, how about like this? And just play D to G, which is like Good Luck, Benjamin Alphabet, like all of that's like my secret chord progression that I play. If I can't think of a chord progression, I'll just play D to G. And I was like, cool. Like this is like the Super Whatevr chord progression. Yeah, I'm exposing my secrets. But he wrote the chords and then I wrote a verse to it. And then we were talking about how I kept saying, what is it? Guess I'll just go figure it out for myself. That line, being on an indie label and working with a manager that's kind of new in the industry, there's been a lot of stuff I've had to learn through doing. And I feel like I wasn't taught. And so I like study like social algorithms and I do a lot of like weird things that I feel like not a lot of other artists do just because I haven't been taught these things. And so I was like, oh, I feel like I have to like kind of figure a lot of things out for myself that other artists like get the opportunity to just be like taught. And he's like, you should put that in the song. And I was like, cool. I love that. And then I just wanted to say the F word. And so I was like, yeah, I'm gonna do me and that's it. And then I was like, I think I have the chorus. I'm pretty proud of it. Let me go record it. And I went and sang it. And then as I was coming out of the little vocal recording booth, he had like a pen and paper and was like, oh, could I hop on verse 2? And I was like, what? Yeah, of course. Can I? What do you mean, can I? Yes.
Yeah.
Of course you can. You're Mark Hoppus. And he's like, cool. Do you think this is cool? And I was like, yes. Like,
you're Mark Hoppus.
Of course. You're Mark Hoppus.
Yeah.
You could write anything, but this is cool. And then he changed it up a little bit, and then he recorded verse 2, and I was like, wow, this is really happening. And then we had been working for like 8 hours, and we didn't have the next day, and we didn't have a bridge. And everyone's like, all right, let's wrap it up. Let's like get back to work maybe next week or something. And I was like, no, I need to just like do something for the bridge. And I just went in there. I was like, I'm going to be myself. I'm going to be myself. And then they're like, yeah, that's cool. It's cool. Yeah, it's cool enough. It's like catchy and it's repetitive. And I was like, can I do one more thing? And then I was like, trust me, Sue's awesome. Be like fucking anyone else. And then they were like, great, song's done. And then we left. And the vocal takes weren't like what we wanted as like final takes. Everything was like scratch rough. But we didn't have another day because he ended up leaving town when the pandemic hit and everyone was quarantined. So we just made whatever we had work. Yeah, that's it.
Okay.
Wait, so the final like vocal takes that you guys did there in that day were put into the song?
Those are all first takes. Like none of those we didn't like. I would say some of them we did like 2 or 3 takes at the same time, but no, those were all supposed to be like first day scratch vocals that you like go in and fix.
Mm-hmm. Wow.
But that's all we had, so we just were like, oh, let's make it work.
Sound like that, so
yeah, that is so impressive. Oh my god. Okay, yeah.
Thank you.
Of course.
So you did touch on it a bit with a couple of the lines, but if you wanted to go more in depth, what was your headspace at?
I have anxiety, and I felt like that, everyone's feeling the same thing about this, like, sickness that just, like, either you get, like, a small cough or you, like, are on a ventilator until you die. And it just feels, like, so terrifying. Still feels pretty surreal and, post-apocalyptic. But I was really struggling because I have asthma, and so I get a little cough. Like, I have a little cough right now. I'll get like a tiny cold and then I get a little cough and it lingers for like a month. It's really frustrating. But it's especially frustrating in this day, in this time, when I freak everyone out, because I have a little cough. And so I had a little cough that day, just because it happens a lot. And I was really anxious. And so my verse is about how it's really cool that I'm starting to like come into my own. And I feel like this song and this album that I'm making, we started the album writing process yesterday, or the album recording process yesterday.
Oh, recording.
But anyway, so yeah, I just I wanted to work on not letting people push me around in terms of the creative process. Not push me around, but like big voices. I want to have pushback and be able to like hold my own creatively. And so this was the first song that I was like, I want to write about how it feels right now. And I want to be honest with those emotions, which I usually am, but this was like something specific. And so my verse is about sitting with Jess and watching the news and being like, we're all going to die. Like, this feels like the worst case scenario. And that's just my anxiety and my hypochondria. And her being like, no, we're fine. Like, it's going to be okay. But me like having like end of days mentality and like hypochondria, anxiety. And then that leads into the verse of like, no, I'm struggling, but I'm not going to like let other people who I've worked with control the emotion of the song or how I'm feeling. I'm going to let a song be what it needs to be. I'm going to create what I need to create. And so the song's about, I'm going to put on clothes that make me happy, and I'm going to be who I am, and I'm going to be fucking happy. And I'm not going to listen to people that want to put me down anymore. Because if Mark Hoppus thinks I'm cool, then like everyone else can kiss my ass.
Yes.
Yeah.
I agree.
Yeah.
So that's kind of the mentality behind the song.
Oh my God. Okay.
It's like anxiety and depression, but I'm not going to let that stop me. I'm also not going to let anyone else stop me. I'm going to be me, because me is really cool. And what's crazy about that, and I just want to say one more thing. What's crazy about that is TikTok has been incredibly validating to me, because I feel like that's silly, but like I've been working so hard to grow our fan base on like Instagram and Twitter. And I feel like people kind of know me. People know me through my songs, but being like 100% myself on TikTok, and it like I'm about to break like 70,000 followers in like 2.5 months. Like, it's like,
God.
It is like crushing. And I'm like, wow, me being myself is actually like cool. And like me being like just wholesomely me, like people love it. And I think that song was the catalyst for me to be like, oh wow, like I'm good enough. I don't have to be something else. I get to like wholly be myself, and people actually, it's not just that people have to accept it, it's that people like prefer that. So it's really cool.
I'm so happy for you.
Thanks.
Yeah. Oh my God. Okay. So while listening to the song, do you think you can hear any like band or artist influences?
I mean, it feels to me, it feels like Super Whatevr and Blink-182.
Oh my God.
Like, I don't know. It feels very much like the two worlds colliding.
Mm-hmm.
Like, he played a lot of the soaring lead guitar rhythm, and I played bass, which I think on Don't You Want to Be Glad I like really pushed for my bass parts, because that's what I'm comfortable playing. And then he played a little too, but we went back and forth instrumentally. And so I think it's kind of like a both worlds type of thing. And then in terms of production, we went with a guy that is in Floor, Flor. I don't know if you've heard of them. And so he had his take on it, and then a little bit of radio. But I don't know. Do you have any people you think?
No, when I heard it, I was like, "This is a Super Whatevr song." Like,
yeah, that's what I heard.
Thank you.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I was like, "This is
Thank
definitely
you.
a Super Whatevr song."
Mm-hmm.
That means a lot, because I think I'm still figuring out what that means.
Mm-hmm.
And so it's cool that other people are like, oh, that's Super Whatevr. I'm like, I'm doing it.
Yeah.
Like, it's real.
Yeah, I can't like find anything else. I'm like, this is Super Whatevr meets Mark Hoppus, but still sounds like a Super Whatevr song. So
exactly.
Heck yeah. Heck yeah.
Yeah.
Thanks.
Anytime. So how have you been connecting with fans during this time? I know some fans have been talking about a live stream show. Have you put any thoughts into that? How are you staying busy with the fans?
With the fans?
Are you asking me to be on the live stream show?
That's exactly what I'm asking.
I hear you. some fans.
Well, no, the fans in the server that you've been staying busy with, and then God, I was like, hey.
You are so good at reminding me that I haven't responded to you.
Well, I was like, maybe when I send the link, he'll remember that he probably left me on open.
Oh no.
Yeah, I'm not good at responding, so I appreciate it. It means a lot.
But that question wasn't meant to be like, hey, you're gonna do it.
Oh no, that wasn't on the spot thing.
Yeah, we're just shooting things.
I mean, the plan is to do it. I just quit my job, so this is what music is what I got right now until I find a new job. Hopefully something remote, but that doesn't matter to you anyway.
Still cool though.
Yeah, I might do it.
All right.
I might do more like acoustic things. I feel guilty when like I don't want to make someone pay to sit at their house and watch their phone and watch me perform on their phone. Like that feels weird to be like, buy tickets. Like I know it's supporting the artist and I totally understand that, and people need money. I'm not saying other people shouldn't do it. I don't feel comfortable doing it. I think that's a weird, just speaking up on that really quick. When artists like Taylor Swift are like, people who do VIP are crooks. I'm like, you don't need to do VIP. You're Taylor Swift. Mm-hmm. The Night 75 is like, we're not going to do VIP. I'm like, all your fans want you to do VIP. Just because you have enough money not to do VIP, like I'm not saying like every artist should do it. And I'm saying like people have their own perspectives and opinions, but like if your fans want it and you're not willing to give that to your fans, like that's fine, but that's on you. And so for me personally, I don't feel comfortable charging. So I would love to do a free thing. I would love to do your free thing.
Pog.
But yeah, that's how that TikTok and Discord.
Yes. Discord's popping off.
I don't go anywhere else.
Yeah.
I'm letting like our Instagram. We just did a promo shoot yesterday and he was like, why did your Instagram go from like professional pictures to selfies? And I was like, because professional pictures are boring and I just want to post something, and if I don't have promo, I'm just going to post a picture of myself. Like I don't have time.
Yeah.
So yeah, Discord, TikTok. Yeah.
Solid Shane.
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
What?
Okay. No, nothing. So we were on Twitter and we noticed that you dropped the demos for Don't You Want to Be Glad. Was there a reason why you just dropped them? Did you just accidentally press send? Just like, oh, whoops, my finger slipped. Here are the demos. Enjoy.
So yeah, I don't know how much I can speak on this.
Oh, okay.
Without getting in trouble. But no one really follows me on Twitter, like label management. And even if some of them do, they don't really like keep up on it. Mm-hmm. And so I can do secret stuff on Twitter because they won't see it. I don't know if I would get in trouble for doing that. But there were certain fans that kept being like, yeah, like Never Nothing's like the best record, and Don't You Want to Be Glad it's so poppy. And I'm like, yeah, it is. Get over it. That's not what I said. I was like, yeah, it is. And you can like what you like, and I'm going to keep making stuff, and it's all going to sound different. But Don't You Want to Be Glad used to be called Melancholyism until I brought it to a producer, and then it didn't feel like a melancholyism anymore. And I was like, it feels weird to name my second record Melancholyism when like he had so much influence on the record. And so I was like, I want to show people the demos of like how dark Melancholyism was before it just changed. I want people to understand that like there was a lot more outside influence and a lot more decisions I had to make. Like, let's just say if I didn't make certain decisions, I wouldn't still be doing music. Just being honest, like certain things had to happen and certain I'm on a label. Like you have to like, they're investing money, and like Never Nothing, as good as it is and as much as people like it, like it didn't do well. And so when people are like, oh, that's your best record, I'm like, was it? Because no one was listening to it. Like that's great that you feel that, and that's great that it's your favorite record, but like, look at the numbers. Like, that's not like, the record did not perform. I love it, I'm proud of it, but it's not an album that's going to like make my label happy. It's not an album that's going to like allow me to continue doing music as a career. And so things had to change. But with that being said, I still wanted people to hear the fact that like album 2 was supposed to be more like guitar-y, riffy, rock. There's like so many riffs on that record that just got kicked to the wayside. And so, yeah, I just put it out because I was like, I'm kind of sick of people saying like bad things about my second record, because I'm so proud of it. But for so many different reasons, like it opened doors to work with Mark Hoppus. And now the producer that came in the studio is, he's the auxiliary guitarist of The Neighborhood. So I'm going to start working with like The Neighborhood. And Bishop Briggs has been talking to my manager, so I might be working with her, and like we might try to reach out to AWOL Nation, like really big names. And like these things wouldn't have happened if I didn't put out that album. But I still wanted to show people like, no, I understand that it's different. I understand that it might not be your taste, but like this was a catalyst so I can keep doing music, which is why I brought guitar back into Carhartts and Converse, where I was like, I have to make a record that is going to appease certain people, you know, break through the gatekeepers that are not letting me have these conversations. And then now I get to do whatever the hell I want to do. So, but I also had to keep my mouth shut, because I can't tell people that like, yeah, Don't You Want to Be Glad's an album that was like me, like kind of selling out. Like it was, but like now I get to do whatever I want, but I had to do that.
Yeah.
I didn't have a choice. If I want to keep doing music, I had to.
So no, I totally get that. And it worked out.
It sucks.
So
Exactly.
Yeah.
And it was a good album. So like,
thank you.
Yeah, it wasn't even like you were just like throwing something out there that you didn't even like care about just so you could do that. 100%. It's like you still like you could still hear all the time and effort that went into that, because it's
thank you.
Yeah,
you can call it a sellout or whatever, but like Lori said, it doesn't sound like a sellout, so
it still slaps.
Thank you.
It's still great.
And that was my plan, was I was like, I'm going to make this change so I can have a bigger sound, so I can do this, but I'm going to do it my way. And like we did lose a lot of fans, and that's very true, but like if someone isn't like, I don't know, along for the process, like I don't really want them around anyway. Like I'm a person, and like I'm having a baby, and like I want to do music more than anything, and like I will have to quit if I don't reach a certain audience. And like people don't get that. So I get like, you know, people sending messages that are like, your new album's trash, and I'm like, dude, like you don't understand how hard this is. Like I'm sorry, this is so difficult. Like it's difficult to make these decisions. I'm aware that I changed my sound. I'm aware that it might not be your favorite song, but like, please don't be disrespectful. I'm trying my best. Like this is really hard. It's not an easy career. Like people are getting canceled left and right, and I'm just trying to be a good person and make music, like provide for my literal child, you know? So yeah.
Congrats on that, by the way.
Yeah.
Thanks. Thank you.
So when we last spoke, you spoke about some collabs. Where are those at? The ones you teased, and are there any more in the works?
Yeah, I just decided to throw those on the next album instead. I was like, I'm gonna release an EP, and I was like, nah, I don't want to do that. But then I tweet about it, and then it becomes like this concrete thing where people are like, it's coming, and I'm like,
no, it's not.
Never mind.
Nah.
Changed my mind.
Yeah. Well, I've been working with a couple different people, and I was like, cool, we have like, you know, I have my little circle, but then that little circle is getting bigger and bigger and bigger. And I'm like, well, these opportunities are massive right now. I might as well just epitomize on that and just put it all towards an album. Like Carhartts and Converse is technically the first single towards the new record. But it might be a long time before hearing the next song, just because we don't have anything. We literally were in the studio yesterday. So the plan is early next year to hopefully have a new record. So I'm not in much of a rush. We're just making stuff. I have like 15 to 20 demos for the new album, but then we just wrote 2 new songs yesterday. So
very exciting.
Okay. That's the plan. Is I've dumped that plan, and I'm just like, if we're gonna make something, why make an EP? especially since EPs don't count towards my contract. This is like legal stuff, but EPs don't count towards fulfilling my contract. So why would I release a body of work if it's not moving towards like bigger and better?
Yeah.
So yeah.
And
Makes
then
sense.
you spoke about talking with Dallin about a collab. So has anything happened with that? Is that going to be on the album, or did that one fall through?
That one, I'm not sure. I'm kind of putting that on the back burner just because I sent him a song. He really likes the song, but he's working on releasing his own music because I'm pretty sure they finished their album. But then everything happened, and they're on Fearless, which is a subsidiary to a major label, which they have a lot more say in terms of their releases. Like Hopeless is like, put it out. But theirs is, they have a lot more like timing, and like Movements has their album that they've been sitting on for 2 years. Like they're just very like meticulous about their releases, which is fine, but everything happened, so they're slowing down on that. So I think he's more in the headspace of that. Josh from Bad Flower we talked to, and he's working on his album. So like actually same with Bishop Briggs, she's working on her album. I am trying to get a hold of Skrillex right now because my manager manages him, but he's working on his record. So I'm waiting for everyone to stop working on their albums. I tried to get a Carhartts and Converse Skrillex remix, which could still happen.
Oh my god!
Imagine.
But that's all like pipe dream, because all these people need to like be available. So the people right now that I'm talking to are a little different than those people, but I'm waiting for any of them to kind of like have a moment so I can get their attention, so we can just make something really quick. Like I have songs ready for each one of these people that I'm like, this is the thing that I want to present to you. But yeah.
Okay. All right.
Well, so you mentioned remixes. Do you have any that are going to come out, or do you have any that are planned?
So we released those 2 Melancholism ones. Did you guys hear those?
Yes.
Oh, of course, yeah.
And then the So Am I one that Jordy did. I love Jordy so much. So Tyler, Four Names, who we released the first one with, he's going to be most likely doing the next record. If I have my way, he'll be doing the next album. And then Vane's did a remix, and then Jordy. I was going to do like a bunch more. But like I said, I was like, I just want to focus on the new album. So I had like this whole plan of like a remix of every song on the record, like a remix record, and then like put out an EP, and then like put out a record. But I was like, that's so much emotional work and so much more money than I have to put towards this. Let's just do an album. So we did the 3 remixes, and then I was like, we were actually just going to do like a Melancholism pack, but Jordy was like, I like So Am I, can I do that song? And I was like, sure, dude. And so he did the song, and it's a cute little thing.
Yeah. So you had said Carter from Chapel was working on one. Is that one not going to see the light of day then?
Carter. I think he finished it.
Bruh.
I think he did, but he's hard to get a hold of.
He is.
We've
been trying.
Yeah.
Bro.
You and me both. He might be on the new album potentially.
Okay.
I'm trying to start a new thing that is a collective of artists that I respect, because I see other cliques in the music industry, and it makes me a little sick, because they're very gatekeepy. If you're cool enough, you can be in this crew. If you're not, get out. And I'm like, it's happened to me 2 or 3 times now, where I'll be like, wow, I feel like I'm finding something. I feel like I'm finding a family in the music industry. I feel like I have friends. And then it just kind of like falls by the wayside. And I'm like, oh, you guys didn't like me. You just wanted to like see if I was cool enough for your crew. And I wasn't, because I'm not. And so I was like, screw it. I'm going to just bring all my friends with me that I love. And I have a lot of artists that are smaller than me that I think are incredibly talented. And I just want to throw them all on my album. So not only will there be big collabs, there will be collabs of artists smaller than me that I just really respect and support. Nice. So I think Carter will end up on the next album if I get my way, because I love him so much and I think they're so talented, and I think Friends and Mushy Gushy should have millions of plays.
Yeah.
And it bothers me that they don't. I think it's unfair what's happening to them because they're so talented. Like playing with them on tour, I was like, dang it, they're too good. I should have brought up worst band. This sucks. Like watching them play and then getting up on stage, I was like, oh God, they just like put on such a show, and I'm like, hey, like,
hey, I'm Sky. This is my
Super Whatevr.
Yeah, I don't know what I'm doing. I forget all my words.
Gonna play some tunes for you.
Yeah, can you remind me of my lyrics because I suck at this?
You guys sing this part.
Yeah, everyone sing this part because I forgot, and my voice hurts because I'm not a performer. Yeah. I just like writing songs. But yeah, that's my plan with Carter. Yeah.
Oh, that's exciting. Okay.
And the last question, you've talked about LP3. What can you tell us about it? What can fans expect from it? I know it's still very much in the works, but if there's anything you could tell us, we'd love you to tell it to us.
So it's kind of a like self-realized album in a sense that I've had the concept for 3 albums since before I made this project. Like there are certain things that were like at the beginning of Super Whatevr, like the name, Good Luck, Yours Truly, which is Don't You Want to Be Glad. Those songs were written at the same time as like Benjamin Alphabet. Like those are all the same song. Hello Alone, that is released on the the demos. That'll be on LP3. That song I wrote back when I wrote those old songs. That's the thing, is I'll have like one song from the like Super Whatevr like beginnings that I'll just like put on each record, just because like it's supposed to be like where I wanted to be emotionally and like health wise, because I'm always like, let's get healthy, and I say let's get healthy because I used to be really depressed and unhealthy, and like just emotionally messed up. And so this album was supposed to be, and I think I may have mentioned this in the last one, but this album is supposed to be a self-titled because it's like coming to where I'm happy with myself and I'm healthy and I'm treating people well. And so first album was Never Nothing, What's Wrong, It's Nothing, It's Never Nothing. Mm-hmm. Admit your faults and pay attention to the people around you that are hurting. Second album was supposed to be Melancholyism, which switched to Don't You Want to Be Glad, which is like the I see that there's a problem, but I don't know how to fix it, or I'm learning how to fix it. Don't you want like joy? I thought that's what you were looking for in the first place. And then Super Whatevr is going to be album 3, which is about like, okay, now I made it. Like I'm pretty emotionally healthy. I've been doing therapy for 5 or 6 years. Like I'm married. Like I get to be happy. I get to have a baby. I get to like be accomplished. And so what's funny about that is so the second album was me kind of losing myself and realizing like, oh, I have to make happy music to be happy. And then this new album is just going to be dark as fuck. And I'm like, I like making sad songs. Like I like, not like sad, like what was me songs, but I like making sad sounding songs. Like Better, those keys in Better just drive me insane. I'm glad people like the song, but like, oh my God, like I wish I could go back and like make it dark, because I'm like, damn it, like this song's about my parents' divorce, and people will like throw that song back in my face and be like, I thought you said you wanted to get better. I'm like, this song's about like wanting to die. Like this song's about like calling the suicide lifeline. Like this song is about my parents splitting and me losing my faith. Like I hate that it has these because I'm like, no, this song is about like everything that's going wrong in my life. So this next album, I want to like reflect that like, oh, being healthy isn't what I thought it was going to be. I'm not happy all the time. Like I'm just healthy. Like I get to be healthy and have good relationships, but it doesn't mean I have to like be in this constant like bliss world of joy. It's like I cried yesterday because like Jess and I aren't seeing eye to eye on something, but like that doesn't mean like I'm not healthy and like growing still. And so I want to show that, like, I want this whole journey to be people seeing me grow into what I am today emotionally. And I projected that from the beginning because I wanted to get there. But now that I'm here, I'm like, oh, I don't have to make happy music all the time. Like I can make songs about pain. And it's just as honest and just as real and just as healthy. So, yeah, that's the plan. The album's going to be self-titled. Working with Tyler and a couple people from the neighborhood said they want to work on the song. So that's really cool. Yeah, it's just going to be bigger. What's funny is my manager was like, hey, you know, don't change the sound again. I feel like we're just starting to like get more fans. Please don't change the sound again. You changed the sound and we had to take 2 steps back. Please don't change the sound again. I'm like, I'm just going to change the sound.
I'm just going to change it. Yeah, exactly.
Yeah, it'll work out.
It's
Trust
just,
me.
Exactly.
it'll be just a bigger version. It'll be like a bigger, darker version of Don't You Want to Be Glad.
Oh my God.
With guitar elements that like reference Never Nothing, but like
Loop all the fans
more
in.
palatable.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
All right.
But like also with its own new elements.
Okay. All right.
Oh my God.
Excited
Okay.
for that. Yeah.
I'm so excited for that. Yeah.
Yeah. So Carhartts and Converse was kind of like a nod to the new direction.
Okay. All right.
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
So as I said, that is all the questions we have. Is there anything you would like to plug?
I'm having a baby.
Congrats.
Congrats. Oh my God.
Isn't that crazy?
That's
It
wild.
is. Yeah.
Wait, I have to ask, did you hint at it in the last interview? Because Glory thought you did. I haven't watched it in a while.
Yeah.
When was it?
I think April we did it?
Oh God. Yeah.
Probably.
Yeah.
What did I say?
I'm like, you leaked just about everything the band had planned for like the next 6 months or so. So I'm like, if he leaked the baby as well, I mean, like...
Wait, what did I say?
So
you
said,
do you know like specifically?
I know like roughly what you said. Basically, you said like, you said how you were getting better and how this album was like the middle step and that you're growing your family. And I was like, okay. So that's what I remember. I don't know if that was a hint.
Sounds like a Freudian slip. It sounds like on accident, but we knew at that point that we were pregnant. So, yeah.
Okay.
Isn't that crazy?
Yeah,
Yeah.
it is wild.
Yeah, it feels like one of those, I don't know. I'm really happy.
I'm happy for you, man.
It's a big deal.
That's it.
Yeah.
That's my plug.
That's the plug.
We're having a baby.
This guy's gonna have a
I would
child.
tell you the name if we could agree on one.
All right.
But we're between a couple different names, so
Well, good luck with
everyone will find out at some point.
that. All right.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, thank you for sitting down with us, and congrats on that song, of course. This has been Sky from Super Whatevr, and we're the Good Noise Podcast.